Hi, my name is Ben Stoviak, and I'm a certified athletic trainer at the University of St. Augustine. Today, we're going to be talking about the summative analysis of the ethics class. So, to start off, we discussed personal ethics. When I was looking upon myself, I kind of noticed that, my main three, values of myself is that I'm hardworking, I'm reliable, and I'm a leader. And within that, I've noticed that when I'm looking at decision making in healthcare, that I kind of use my values as my cornerstone. I keep those deep in no matter what, and I don't change. I know that, I'm dedicated enough that my goal to always provide the best care possible is is always my main goal, and that, nothing will take me away from wanting to pursue that. And that's where I feel that my values are strong in that, they help me always make the right decision. Even when I'm in question, I always dig down. I give it an extra day if I have to make a final decision, and I really analyze what is right and what is wrong. And working with interprofessional teams, that plays a factor because my values might not be the same as someone else's. And that's where we kind of have to work together because we all have the same goal, and it's to provide the best care for these patients. And that will always be our goal. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the healthcare profession. So we need to connect with our values in the same way, but differently. Where even though someone might be more reliable or more knowledgeable, we could work together, and where he's knowledgeable, I'm hardworking. All right, let's work this out. Let's do what we can. You let me know what you think. I'll get the work done. Where that's a way where we could connect together to provide the best care. In the healthcare versus patient, I covered two cases: Bubble Boy and the case of AIDS. In Bubble Boy, there was a boy that pretty much had no immune system, and he was taking medication, and it came to the point where his family needed to come in to get new medication. Well, they didn't notify the hospital before, so no one knew he was coming. Well, when they brought him in, that they didn't give him any isolated room to help prevent any of this. Well, it came down to the fact where you know the patient was getting sick, and it really came down to a nurse saying, "Hey, I have made this cure. It's never been tested, but I made this cure." Well, they didn't want her to do it because, I mean, for one, there was no studies on it, and two, the mom declined treatment at the end. Well, at the end of the video, it shows her with the shot, right next to the patient while no one's around. And, that was kind of the question mark of like, what is happening? What is going on? And in the second case of AIDS, um, that that there was the actions of the supervisors what caused everything to happen. He was in denial of wanting to help the patient because of the case that he had AIDS, and at the time that was a big deal. Um, so that motivated that male physician to prove himself. He was young and needed to stand out, make a stand for himself, even though the supervising doctor refused treatment. At the end, the healthcare professional, I mean, it's important to utilize your coworkers instead of using them for the wrong reasons. The reflecting practice cycle is the most efficient way to help departments work to the best of their abilities. They need to be able to handle all these obstacles in the proper way, where these are two separate cases, but at the same time, if they all just trusted in each other and were able to discuss with each other, these all could have been handled differently. I feel like each case, each doctor, each nurse kind of had their own say, and there was no meeting ground. It was, all right, this is what I think, or this is what I think, and then that was it. They went their own ways and tried treating them in their own ways. And that's where they need to, ethically work together and find that main goal of, all right, what can we do? You think this, I think this. all right, where can we meet in the middle, and what do we think is the best possible case to treat these patients? Upon socialization, I feel like as an athletic trainer, you get probably the most, experience with other professions than anything. I know in my college experience, when I was first, starting in the program, my professor told us like, "Hey, there's a 90% chance that you probably won't play sports by the end of this degree," and that was because, you know, not just the schooling and how much learning there is in it, but about the clinical experience, the rotations that we're on, and I feel that that was the biggest part of building athletic trainers, especially in this program. As a freshman, I was out doing clinical experience at the same college I was at. You know, technically couldn't really do much. Help with first aid, but like you're there, you're getting to watch injuries. You're able to watch evaluations. What an ACL test looks like. So I thought that was a very efficient way to do that. I know in my high school setting, I was able to experience two different cases where one was the athletic trainer was a teacher and an athletic trainer, where they were there all day, and I noticed like even though that's two different jobs, their days are longer, and it seemed to me that they were more burnt out than normal, or they were always like high stressed, and I felt that played a factor in that. And my most, I think, memorable clinical rotation was at Wheaton College. It's a Christian college in Illinois, and there was when I got the best experience. We had a chiropractor, team physician, team surgeon, along with four other athletic trainers that I was able to work with. And I was able to work with them my junior and senior year, where, you know, I knew everyone so well at that point where they almost treated me as just a normal athletic trainer, even though I was a student. And that was just because of what I've been, what I got, brought up to, like what I was able to see, what I was able to learn, going in with surgeons during evaluations with the chiropractor. It all helped me learn and be able to experience how they see things and how we do. So when I was looking at my mentor plan, like I wanted to influence pretty much what I experienced at Wheaton College. I want these students to learn everything they can by the book and what they can learn to pass the boards, but also get the most experience outside. They need to experience what it's like to be dealing with the physical therapist, with the physicians, experience what, nurses or, ERs are like, where if you're going to be sending a patient, what's it going to be like for them? What do you experience when you meet the patient, the parents at the hospital, after a C-spine injury? I want to be able to involve them in all of that. The last section was ethical leadership. I know in the workplace I'm at now, there was two things that I noticed, and one was that some of my coworkers wanted to drink before going to work. In the code of ethics of athletic training, you were to never be under the influence of anything while working. And the second was I had an athletic trainer question why I was going to volleyball during the summer. And she goes, normally I just tell my coach, like, hey, call me when you can, or call me if anything goes wrong, and I'll come over. Well, that that doesn't help. Like, that's ethically wrong, because if a guy goes into cardiac arrest and you're not there, you're looking at a major lawsuit, and it's not just look bad, on us or her, but like the whole department, the hospital, it looks bad on all of us. So when I discussed this with my manager, that's when, they realized, all right, hey, we need to make a change. And that's when, he took it upon himself to send out like an ethical email just in general, to not really point anyone out, but to get the point across of, hey, this is our job, this is how we're supposed to run things. It's ethically wrong if you don't follow this, and that we need to all work on the same page. So when I was looking at like the ethical leadership plan, like it really came down to, it really comes down to high communication in the organization to ensure that the words of ethics are being presented as much as possible, while not just showing what is ethically right, but by doing what is ethically right. The leader needs to show that they truly care about their employees and show that they're the priority on their list. So what I've learned is, when I'm looking at myself ethically, I feel like I'm always doing right, but at the same time, I know that things could be different. I could be better, and I feel like now that we've gone through all of this, that I feel like I've changed in for the better. I feel like I'm more aware of what's ethically right and what's ethically wrong, and by trying to improve myself, I feel that I don't need to just look at what's the code of ethics of athletic training, because I know them, and I do everything I can to follow them. But I need to know, start noticing some ethical decisions from others, nurses, doctors, other people that interprofessionally that I'm working with, to build our team better, like my team physician. When he's with me at the football field, we need to make sure that we are making decisions as a unit, instead of oh, I'm going to make the call here, or he's going to make the decision there. We need to work together, and that's where I feel that as of right now, where I'm at, job wise, that is the best way that I can change for the better, and what I could do in the future to um, progress in where I'm at. So, lastly, I chose this quote because I feel that even though you've been teaching us what's, different ethical cases, different ethical everything, but it's not that you're teaching it, it's that we're learning it. And we're learning to make the better decisions because of these examples that you've been giving us. That there's these cases that, yeah, we're reading it, but you're not teaching us like these cases. You're having us learn, or having us analyze what is going on here, and what we would change to make a better ethical decision. And I feel like that's the key point of what you tried to do this entire semester. And one, I thought it was fantastic, and I couldn't, I feel like I couldn't learn anything more because you covered everything that there possibly could have been. So thank you.